Thank you for listening to PoliticalStorm.com. I'm John Small. Today our guest is Frans DeWaal. He's got a new book called Are We Smart Enough to Know How Smart the Animals Are? But the reason we're chatting with him here is because he also has one called Chimpanzee Politics. And he's been named one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people, and we're chatting with him right now. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine.
Fantastic. We're glad to chat with you here. You've got Are We Smart Enough to Know How Smart Animals Are? And is that a new book? Is that the newest book that you have out?
Yeah, that's the last book that I did, yeah.
Now, the book, Are We Smart Enough to Know How Smart Animals Are? Let's talk about the inspiration for this. What was it that made you decide to do this book?
I think I've been for a long time in this field, and I think for the last century we have totally underestimated animal intelligence because many scientists, they try to reduce it to either instinct or very simple learning processes, and so they were not ready to consider it complex and wonderful. And that has changed in the last 20 or 25 years. We have a new view of animal intelligence at the moment, and that's what I wanted to show in the book.
And animals are pretty darn smart, aren't they?
Yeah, animals have the intelligence that they need given their environment. And so you don't expect necessarily an elephant to have the same intelligence as a chimpanzee or a chimpanzee the same as a dolphin. And so you always need to look, where do they live, how do they survive. And within that context, they're incredibly intelligent. They know everything there is to know.
What are some of the most amazing things that you discovered while you were preparing to put the book together? Are we smart enough to know how smart animals are?
Well, I think one of the big discoveries is in tool use. Of course, everyone knew that chimpanzees use tools and orangutans use tools. Then the discoveries came that they make tools, which was initially considered uniquely human, but a chimpanzee will modify a stick to make it suitable for the job that he's doing. And so they're actually tool makers. And after that, we got discoveries of tool use everywhere. So in monkeys sometimes. The chimpanzees are, of course, apes, they're not monkeys. And after that, we got it in crows. And after that, we got it in the octopus. And we got it in even in crocodiles. And crocodiles, for example, they will swim with sticks on their snout, and these sticks are needed by herons, and so they do that when they're close to a heron colony which is building nests, and all these herons are looking for sticks, and they will try to get them even if they're on the snout of a crocodile, and sometimes that ends badly for the bird and as a snack for the crocodile.
But you know that it's interesting because if it weren't for that snack for the crocodile would be kind of hungry too. So all of those things kind of work together, don't they?
Yeah, that's the problem is that people, of course, feel very sad that a bird is eaten, but the crocodile has to eat also, and so all of nature is like that. Animals eat each other, and sometimes they are very smart in how they achieve that goal.
Again, visiting right now with Frans DeWaal, author of a new book called Are We Smart Enough to Know How Smart Animals Are? And as you were doing the research for this book, where do you even go to find all of this stuff? Are there people that focus on this as like their main course of study, or who do you get the information from?
Well, I'm in this field. I'm right in the middle. I've been doing studies of animal behavior all my life, and so I know many people and many studies, and there's conferences where we meet each other, and there are, of course, journals that are dedicated to animal intelligence and animal cognition. And so there is a vast amount of knowledge out there, and since I'm right in the middle of it, I know most of that, yeah.
That's a lot better than, in my mind, I was thinking you were talking to the crocodile, but that's not what you did.
No, I talked to scientists who know the crocodile.
So the book, Are We Smart Enough to Know How Smart Animals Are, is available right now. And now this is not your first book. How many other books do you have, sir?
I have about, at the moment, a dozen books, I think. I started with Chimpanzee Politics. And in this particular season, in this country, that would be a most appropriate topic, actually.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing a lot of chimpanzee politics going on, a lot of posturing and being bigger and stronger and comparing anatomy and all of this. It's very chimp-like in many ways. So
watching the current political landscape in the United States, where we've got Bernie and Hillary on one side and Trump and Cruz on the other side, you're seeing kind of a similarity in the chimpanzee politics.
Well, the posturing is very similar, and that's why I'm very intrigued by what's going to happen in the next phase. It's very likely in the next phase we get a male and a female candidate. I don't think we've ever had that in this country.
No.
So we get a male against a female candidate, and the rules, I'm sure, are totally different. So among men, well, you're a man, so you know, among men we can do this posturing, and we can do the blustering, and we can who's bigger and who's stronger. We can do all that stuff, and make funny jokes and all of this. But, you know, between a man and a woman, that's not the same dynamic, and it's maybe not going to go over very well if it becomes the same dynamic. And so I'm very curious how, let's say, the body language and the intimidation tactics are going to change if you get a female and a male candidate.
I want to read that book now, Frans, in addition to this other one. What is the name of the book so I can find that as well?
The old book is called Chimpanzee Politics, and that was the first book I wrote.
And how long ago was that?
Oh, that was in the early 80s.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to check it out.
Long before your present candidate.
Well, in the current book, once again, is called Are We Smart Enough to Know How Smart Animals Are? It's available right now. Where can I find a copy of this one?
Oh, you can find it in every bookstore, I would think, and your internet providers have it also available.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us here today. It sounds like a fun idea for a book, and I like the idea for the other one, too. I'm serious. I'm going to check that out. I think it sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Frans. Have a great day. Again, Frans DeWaal, author of Are We Smart Enough to Know How Smart Animals Are? It's available right now at Amazon and wherever books are sold. Thank you for listening to PoliticalStorm.com. I'm John Small.